Welcome back to another episode of Flipping Clean Mama. Thanks for joining me here today, and if you haven't joined me before, my name's Larissa. I'm a stay-at-home homeschooling mom that loves to flip and transform vintage furniture on the side. Today's episode, we will be transforming a mid-century modern dresser set. Two dressers that match that I got off of Facebook Marketplace and picked up just outside of my town. They were a lot rougher than they looked in the picture. Carvings and nicks and dents, and the tops were really rough. But we took those two dressers and transformed them into something beautiful. So I hope that you'll stay tuned and check out how they turned out. All right, like I always say, without further ado, let's get flipping. Welcome back, everybody. I'm so excited to show you this MCM dresser and the cool hardware that it has. There's a piece of it right there. As always, we start by removing the hardware, and today, again, I'm just using a screwdriver to remove the hardware out of both dressers. And then I'm marking on the back of each drawer. That way I know where they go when I go back to put them together. Like I said earlier, this dresser was in pretty rough shape. They somehow made it look a lot better on the picture. Maybe it was an older pic. And here are the other handles. And I did end up spraying those handles with Rust-Oleum's gold. And then, as always, I washed down the piece. First I used a TSP, and here you see me rinsing everything down with a wet cloth. It's always important to wash every piece to make sure you get all that grime off. As you can see, here's a picture of how rough the top looked originally. A lot of the veneer was coming up, and around the bottom, the veneer was breaking off on the sides. It even had somebody had carved a smiley face into the side of the dresser. Good old wood filler to the rescue. Well, I just wasn't satisfied in how the dresser looks, so stay tuned to see what I added to it. And as always, I scuff sand the whole dresser, both bodies of both dressers and the drawers. The top drawers I took all the way down to the bare wood so I could stain them, but the rest of the drawers I scuff sanded and painted. And as always, I'm using my DeWalt orbital sander. Just about a $60, $70 sander that you can buy off Amazon or any hardware store. And always remember, wear that mask. Protect those lungs, people. Thank you for everyone that has been subscribing to my channel and commenting. I appreciate it so much. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I hope you will click that subscribe button. Give this video a like if you like the end result. And follow me for more fun furniture flips. just sanding around the drawer too and inside the drawer, getting all the little marks that were on there off. Somebody had went to town with a marker. So now, next I'm going to try to attempt something that I've never done. Use a skill saw. Yep. So I put a piece of painter's tape on after I measured and tried to use the skill saw and found out that I had a dull blade on there. So I cut it a little crooked, which I had to fix with some glue. There's the piece I took off, as you see how bad the bottoms were. So I called in the big guns, my husband, who is the king of the level and the king of straight, to get the job done right. So here he is using his guide and the skill saw, again with the painter's tape, and cutting the bottom straight off. And we're going to cut this bottom off so we could add some more fashionable legs. And that also was an interesting journey. Little by little, I hope to get to use power tools more and more and get better and better at them. But for now, Robert saved the day. So he thought of making these little wood blocks and drilling a hole in them and then screwing them on to the base of the dresser and then attaching the bracket and the leg to those. And yes, we fixed the crazy cut there that you see. And we just screw the legs on like that. I got those legs off of Amazon, and I can link them below. They turned out wonderful. They really enhanced the look of the piece, I think. So I'm starting with my first coat. I had primed both pieces first, and I didn't video that, as most of you know what it looks like for me to prime. But I did use Ben Zinzer's 123 primer. It's my go-to primer on both pieces. And now I am painting the dresser with Melange's Jett Black Silk Mineral Paint. And if you've watched me before, you know how much I love Melange paint. And here we are using it again. It's a self-leveling paint and also has a primer in it. But as rough as the dresser set was, I knew I needed to prime on top of that as well. And I'm using my zebra round brush, my favorite brush. I love zebra brushes. They're affordable and they work so good. I ended up doing 2 coats of the Melange paint and then lightly scuff sanded between each coat and wiped it down, as you see here. And here I am painting the second coat, so I'll let you watch that to a little music. lightly sanding down any bumps on the primer, and we'll start my first coat on the other dresser. The paint just goes on really smooth and covers really well. So if you haven't tried Melange, I hope you will go to their website and check them out. There's my little helper peeking onto the camera. If you haven't followed me over on Facebook or Instagram, I hope you head on over there as well and check out my pages at FlippingCleanMama. Alright, now I'm going to top coat. This time I use Minwax's Polycrylic and applying it with my applicator sponge. I did 2 coats of top coat on everything, and I had to resand the drawers, as you'll see here in a bit, right there, because I put their top coat on, and when it was too cold outside and it just sort of glopped up and froze in some places, so I had to knock it down a little bit and redo it. Always something. As the weather gets colder here in the Midwest, so do the challenges with doing furniture in my garage, as it is not a heated garage. Today and yesterday were super beautiful days in the 70s, and the rest of the week is supposed to be in the 40s. Boo. So also I'll be linking as many things as I can that I used in this video in the description below. And also, if you want to support my channel, you can do so by clicking the Buy Me a Coffee link in the description or checking out my Amazon wish list that will also be in the description. Just getting that top coat on the drawers. The applicator sponge is my preferred way. I just get it too streaky when I tend to use a brush. I just wanted to put a plug in here about Black Friday. On Black Friday, myself and probably 20 plus other YouTubers are collabing in a cozy and warm challenge, as we will be creating things that are cozy and warm, and maybe some people will be doing a little bit of Christmassy projects as well. So I hope you'll tune into YouTube on Black Friday. The Cozy and Warm Challenge is hosted by Jay from Flipping Drawers. So if you have not checked out his YouTube channel, I hope you will go check that out. And then there will be a link in my description with a playlist of all the YouTubers that participated in this challenge. And it is going to be a really fun time. So I hope you will check us out for our warm and cozy challenge on Black Friday. All right, everyone, are you ready to see it? Here it is. My little helper is here, as you can see, and we're gonna get right into the numbers. So I bought this set for $125 off of Facebook Marketplace. I put about $30 of paint, $10 a top coat, and we'll add another $10 for miscellaneous stain and etc. And that brings me to a total all in of $175. I plan to list this piece on Facebook Marketplace somewhere between $550 and $600, and if I get that price, I should be making a pretty good profit. And when I do sell them, I will list it in the description below. For those of you that have been following me, I did sell my green and cedar Mcm dresser just the other day, and I made a deal with a lady. I sold it for $150 and I had it listed for $250, and then she gave me a really cool antique dresser as well to make up the other half of the price, which worked out so great because I needed another piece because my stock is getting a little low, which is okay though with winter coming around the corner here in the Midwest. So I considered it a pretty good deal. And if you haven't seen the dresser that I got from that lady, you'll have to check out Instagram. All right, if you haven't followed me on Instagram or Facebook, head over there to FlippingCleanMama, and I'd love for you to follow me here and subscribe. Thank you for joining me and my little helper today as we got to flip those awesome Mcm dressers. I hope you have a great day and a blessed week. Keep on flipping.